We're seeing some movement with Kamala Harris and crypto as a group of Democrats have formed Crypto for Harris. In addition, Congressman Khanna's crypto meeting with Democrats and industry leaders is happening this week. And Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler are up to their old tricks again, trying to stop Polymarket, and Gary Gensler doing a lot of shady stuff with the SEC. In addition, Bitcoin is finding some sort of bounce and the VIX is reducing in volatility. We're going to break it down and much more. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as a thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, let's start by taking a look at the price of Bitcoin. On the daily, the RSI is seeing a bit of a bounce here. Bitcoin at $55,827 at the time of recording. This is a good sign, and right now Bitcoin is in that oversold zone for the RSI, so it's expected that we're going to see some sort of bounce and the price to keep moving up. The question is, are we going to roll over and keep testing lows and possibly go lower? That is a possibility. I'm hoping it doesn't happen and we, find that bottom and keep moving upwards, but I think we're not out of the woods yet, my friends. And some other good signs that we are seeing is the NASDAQ is doing the same thing. It's bouncing, its daily RSI is bouncing, and the VIX, the volatility index for the S&P 500, is pulling back. So huge spike yesterday, massive green candle, as you can see here on the chart, but we are seeing a pullback, a red candle on the daily here. So we want this to go down because that's an indication of how volatile things could get. So we want it to calm down. We want markets to, take a deep breath here, let the dust settle, and then we start to move up. So we got to give this time. I say, give it 2 to 3 weeks, guys. Look, it's annoying. We're not going to see any type of fireworks unless there's some very bullish macro news like money printing, liquidity injections, and so forth, or rate cuts. We'll see. Now, on that note, I did want to share what macro investor Dan Tapiero had to say about the VIX. He says, likely that yesterday was a low in everything. Why? Third largest spike in the VIX in the past 35 years. Unwarranted. Too extreme given much better macro fundamental backdrop today than 2008 and 2020. Could see the market retest, but VIX peak is in. He says Bitcoin, NASDAQ higher by the end of the year. So I'm in total agreement here. And he looks at it from a macro standpoint. So not the daily, hourly, and weekly, but you got to look at it quarterly, yearly, monthly as well. So I think he's spot on. This type of spike on the VIX is so extreme that it's pretty much done for the most part. So we just wanted to get back to a normal level or normalize, and we can keep this show going. Now, tomorrow, guys, as a reminder, Morgan Stanley, their wealth advisors, will be able to start offering Bitcoin ETFs to their wealthy clients. And that's 15,000 wealth advisors. And if you recall, I reported on this news last week. So this is going to kick off tomorrow. And this could help usher in a lot more capital into the Bitcoin ETFs. They are specifically pitching the BlackRock and Fidelity ETFs. So let's see what type of volume comes in here. I'm not expecting anything crazy day one. It's going to have to ramp up, of course. I would say give this a month so we can judge it by then, and the folks at Bloomberg and the analysts will have some data to share, but another major on-ramp being set up here. And as I stated when I broke this news, that game theory is going to play out here. The other wirehouses and banks and so forth are going to start offering this. So the bull market is still here, folks. There hasn't been any major invalidation, and people will be buying. And look, they'll be buying at a discount. Right. Buying Bitcoin at this price is pretty good because we are still expecting upside and the bull market to continue. All right, let's move ahead. We got some interesting crypto news around the regulatory space. So Eleanor Terra, Fox Business, is reporting a lot of big stuff here. First up, a collection of Democrats in the crypto space who don't want to see Donald Trump run away with this issue have created a group called Crypto for Harris. So they created a Twitter profile. It says a grassroots network of crypto advocates organizing, fundraising, and developing a nuanced crypto policy approach for the Harris for President campaign. So the group says it will hold a public virtual town hall next Wednesday to discuss ways it plans to support the Harris campaign. Billionaire entrepreneur Mark Cuban will speak at the meeting alongside other industry participants. So first up, Trump supporters Relax, okay? I'm just reporting the news. I'm not saying to vote for Kamala Harris. And neither am I saying to vote for Donald Trump. I'm just reporting the news, and you as adults can make your own decisions because crypto is not the only issue when it comes to voting in the election. But my goal, as I've been stating quite often, is that I want crypto to be a nonpartisan issue. Crypto should not be a Republican thing or a Democrat thing. It should be a United States thing where it creates jobs and wealth opportunities and so forth. So that is my goal in reporting this news, and I'm hoping that Kamala Harris and her team comes out clearly as to what they want to do with crypto. Now, today we did hear that Kamala Harris selected her running mate or vice president running mate, Tim Walz, and he has not made any type of statements about crypto, so we don't know where he stands. However, Eleanor Turret is reporting that Wally Nickel, letter to the DNC, and Kamala Harris requested a VP pick who is pro-crypto and knowledgeable about digital assets. Once again, we have not heard anything from him, whether he's pro or against or he understands it. So we will have to wait and see on this issue. Now, Khanna's crypto meeting this week. Remember, he did a roundtable about 2 weeks ago where Mark Cuban attended, and he held it with industry leaders and Democrat leaders and so forth. Well, he has another meeting scheduled this week. It will take place this Thursday at 11:45 a.m. Eastern. So Democrats, especially like Wally Nickel and Khanna, recognize like Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler screwed up, and Democrats are losing the narrative big time, and they're trying to save some face here. Now, don't get me wrong. There was 71 Democrats who voted with the Republicans in the House to pass the FIT21 bill. So not all Democrats are anti-crypto. Some were simply following Elizabeth Warren. Some were just like, oh, we don't know about this issue. We're not paying attention. The problem is by doing that, you let Elizabeth Warren burn the house down, right? Along with Gary Gensler. Elizabeth Warren had the gasoline and Gary Gensler had the matches. So it turned out to be an epic disaster. And of course, the industry fought back, punching back against Gary Gensler. He's losing in court. He's losing in public opinion. And Elizabeth Warren's anti-crypto army is falling apart. Now, we also got news that Eric Trump, the son of Donald Trump, tweeted out today that I have fallen in love with crypto/DeFi. Stay tuned for a big announcement. And he tagged Donald Trump and Donald Trump Jr. and much more. So let's see what he comes up with. It's so interesting how both sides are now trying to rally around crypto because it is a big issue. Don't get me wrong, it's not the number one issue. For some people it is, but it could be number 5, number 6 on the ballot of reasons, they're voting. So they know there's a lot of money here as well. The crypto industry has raised over $200 million to support pro-crypto candidates. So we'll see what Eric comes up with. Hopefully it's not a meme coin or something dumb. Hopefully it's something legit. You know what I mean, guys? Because look, I've said before, I was born at night, but not last night. I know politics and politicians do things and say things to get elected. Doesn't mean they'll actually do it. But we want to see people be at least pro-crypto, where it's not that they're saying go buy this meme coin, but rather we're going to help provide legislation and guidelines and help create jobs and help entrepreneurs to have clarity. That's the important part, right? Because that has economic benefits and it allows people to invest safely and not have to worry about if the SEC is going to sue them and destroy their bags and everything, right, guys? Like the SEC did with the Ripple case and much more. Now, quick word from our sponsor, folks, and that is Uphold. Uphold is a great platform that you can use to buy Bitcoin and all the top altcoins. They have 260 plus cryptocurrencies. I've been using this platform since 2018. I've interviewed the CEO, CFO, many representatives from Uphold. And you can also trade precious metals such as gold, silver, palladium, and platinum on this platform. In addition, they're available in over 150 countries. They also have transparency reports and they're fully reserved. So you can look at their transparency reports and they don't commingle or lend out your funds and all that nonsense. So if you'd like to learn more about Uphold, check out the link in the description. Now let's talk about our favorite scumbag regulator, Gary Gensler. Eleanor Turret is reporting that last week, the Senate Appropriations Committee marked up the SEC's appropriation funding for fiscal year 2025. Gary Gensler requested $2.594 billion, but this bill only allots him $2.23 billion. According to the SEC union, the agency was forced to cut staff benefits and salary increases this year because of Gensler's increased spending on other things in fiscal year 23 and 24. A union memo reads, In effect, Chair Gensler wagered with your compensation and benefits, knowing that his staff would suffer the consequences if he lost the bet. Now, the Democrat-led Senate is proposing to give the agency its lowest budget since fiscal year 2023. Not only is Gary Gensler a scumbag regulator, he's also a scumbag boss, it seems like. So, look, what are we going to say? I'm not even surprised by this news because it's Gary Gensler. We've seen the man's track record. I mean, it goes back to even before the SEC and MF Global. Go research his history and what happened there. And we know he's been just doing a bunch of nonsense at the SEC, losing in the courts and attacking the crypto industry in addition to other things. So, guys, like I said, I'm not even surprised. What can we expect from a scumbag regulator? Now, Gary's boss, Senator Elizabeth Warren, urges the CFTC to ban political betting contracts amid $500 million Polymarket bets. Oh, Elizabeth, you hate that people can bring additional data and facts about markets and what they think may happen in elections and so forth, right? Not the polls, which sometimes can be manipulated by different media and so forth. But this is typical Elizabeth Warren. So Senator Elizabeth Warren, along with other Democrat lawmakers, is urging the CFTC to finalize a ban on political betting contracts. They argue that such contracts would compromise the integrity of elections and democracy by allowing wealthy individuals and insiders to manipulate outcomes. This call for action comes as Polymarket, a popular betting platform, reports over $500 million in bets in the 2024 U.S. presidential election, reaching new all-time highs. Lawmakers are concerned that the growing popularity of election betting could undermine public trust in the democratic process. The CFTC has been considering this ban. Unbelievable that they're trying to do this, and it's all Democrats that signed this. I wonder why. Look, I've often said it once again, I'm not here to tell you who to vote for. I just report the news and I give my opinion. But you as an adult have to make your decision. Now, as you guys know, Polymarket is a cryptocurrency-based betting market, and it's pretty much like decentralized. Part of that is probably why Elizabeth Warren is going after it because she can't touch it. They hate that people are able to bet on this, and it's pretty pathetic. But this is why we got to keep fighting. And if the Democrats keep allowing this stuff to happen, all this Harris for crypto and what Congressman Khanna and all them are doing, they're going to lose in the elections. And we know that there's a lot of capital the crypto industry has raised, and they're going to use it for pro-crypto candidates. And we already saw the results of that on Super Tuesday and in the primaries. Here's what Tyler Winklevoss had to say about the issue. He says, Senator Warren wants to ban prediction markets for political events, contracts that are hard to manipulate, in favor of political polls that are easy to manipulate. Got it. And here's some actually positive news. Dennis Porter of the Satoshi Act Fund highlighted that nearly 3,000 letters sent to the U.S. senators asking them to co-sponsor the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Bill. Democrats received 60% of the letters. So remember, Cynthia Lummis put together that bill, and Donald Trump talked about it at the Bitcoin conference. So did RFK Jr., by the way, proposing that the United States, buy Bitcoin and use that as a reserve asset in addition to gold and other things. And a lot of folks started sending out letters and requests for the Democrats mostly here to support this. And, is this something that could happen this cycle? I don't think so. There is a possibility, but I think this is something maybe next cycle. I think next cycle, as Bitcoin and crypto becomes more prominent, especially as the crypto industry flexes its muscles in this election and much more. So this is good to see, though. And this is why we got to keep fighting. We got to keep calling, keep emailing, keep doing your thing, guys. We're making progress. We're winning. But, Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler are not giving up. And we got to keep fighting and get them kicked out. Vote for John Deaton in the state of Massachusetts. That's the one thing I will tell you to vote for. Because we're dealing with someone in Massachusetts who's corrupt, Elizabeth Warren, of course. So we want to get at least John Deaton in there who, John is more of a moderate. He's not like some super hardcore Republican or anything like that. And I agree with him on a lot of issues, sensible things, right? Where I think for the most part is missing in the United States now, where people use common sense, be sensible versus talking points from Democrats or Republicans. And I think that's where the majority of the folks who win the elections are those people who are in the middle, right? Who, if the Democrats or Republicans can convince them to vote for them, then they end up winning. So uh, I say vote for John Deaton and donate to John Deaton as well. I have donated. So keep this in mind, guys. All right, folks, don't forget to sign up for my free email newsletter on Substack. It's 100% free. Link will be in the description. Don't forget to grab a copy of my book, Rethinking Crypto. It's available in paperback and digital on Amazon, as well as Barnes and Nobles. Buy a copy, support the podcast, buy a few copies for your friends and family who want to learn about crypto. And if you bought a copy already, please leave a rating and review. It would really help out my rankings. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.